Welcome everybody, the Mr. Archer here with some Everton news, mostly transfer news, and also a reaction to the friendly match played against Monaco today where Everton won 1-0 with a brave header from Seamus Coleman after a Umar Nias shot on goal. Okay, start off with the news. We understand that today Crystal Palace have put in an £8 million bid for James McCarthy. That's all good news. Get some wages off the bill. Get a player out that is probably fifth or sixth in line for a position in the midfield anyway, since we have Gomez, we got Delph now, we've got Tom Davis. Morgan Schneiderlin's probably going to be sticking around. Ghana Gay may not be staying anymore. That's another piece of news that PSG and Everton are close to agreeing a deal over the central midfielder, hoping it looks somewhere in the region of 30 to 35 million. That's the lowest I would go, would be 30 million for him. But it's always seemed like he was going to be going anyways. So, we just have to, take it on the chin there. Been a great player, but he is aging a little bit. We would have to give him a brand new contract and a pretty lucrative one if we wanted him to stick around. But I think our midfield resources are decent. The depth is decent, and I think that we should be getting another central midfielder in anyways, on top of obviously a centre forward and a left-footed right winger, and maybe some cover for Seamus Coleman, but that's not really, I'd say, a top priority, or depending on what Mason Holgate or what the club have decided Mason Holgate's role is going to be this season. The centre back situation, obviously, Kurt Zouma. Lampard came out today and said he wants Zouma to stay. So he's a great footballer. He's a great person. Chelsea went even so far as to put that all over their Twitter. Sky Sports put it all over their webpage. So it's not looking too good for us getting Kurt Zouma back, unless he goes into Frank's office and says, hey, I want to go back to Everton. Here's my transfer request. But I guess, there's still 3 weeks or just under 3 weeks to go before that comes. But other than that, I guess we also have Moise Ken, Gianluca Di Marzio, saying Everton, Arsenal, and Barcelona are all interested in Moise Ken. So, competition, Everton, not exactly a great proposition when you throw. I don't think Arsenal are either, but Barcelona, obviously. But with Antoine Griezmann going there, they've still got Suarez, they've still got Messi, they've still got Dembele. So, where does Ken fit in there, unless they're going to be trying to offload some of those players? Even if they do offload some, like Dembele and Coutinho going to PSG for Neymar, all that BS. So we don't really know. I still think it'd be a better deal for everybody involved if you came to Everton, obviously. But we're going to see how that goes. And then also, apparently we've beaten Real Madrid and AC Milan to the Flamengo Wonder Kid, Rainier. I think that's how you pronounce it, Rainier. So we'll see. And then also inquired about Lucas Toussaint. Not really heard too much about him before, but we should see how that goes. Oh, sorry. But anyways, on to the Monaco game earlier today, or yesterday if you're watching on Saturday. Obviously, we won 1-0. I thought that we were by far the better team for most of that game. Besides the penalty and besides a couple of other, half chances, I don't really think that Monaco brought too much. They had some decent players out there. Cesc Fabregas obviously out there. Nasser Chadli, some decent names, some young talent, but overall, we controlled the game. Little not too excited when I saw the lineup, especially with Stecklenburg in goal. Nias unfortunately up top again. Every all the other positions, we see that Nathan Broadhead got another start and another run out over Morales, over Walcott. So first half, obviously we had the penalty. Lewis Gibson got turned inside out, made a challenge. That's what happens. Don't know if his head went for a second or what, but great save by Stecklenburg and another save on the second attempt on goal after they missed the penalty kick. We had a couple of chances. Obviously, Nias had some chances, but of course squandered them. Not surprising there. Tried a couple of efforts from long range, had a couple of chances off of corners, but other than that, it was pretty quiet first half. But yeah, that's all you can really say. But I mean, like the fitness levels, they were decent. I thought Andre Gomez, and I'm gonna say this a lot. I don't know if I have a predisposition to thinking everything that Andre Gomez does, is golden. But he's always looking forward. He's always looking for a long ball. He's always looking to take the ball, turn, and run with it. I think he's obviously showing a lot of promise in the preseason, if that's how you want to put it. I think he's more comfortable playing in the formation now, and all that good. So I thought that Broadhead had another good game. Him and Seamus down the right in the first half were outstanding. Dean and Bernard always just, playing off of each other, reading each other's movement. Fantastic. The only problem I had besides Nias and his, hey, look at me, I'm a professional footballer, but really, I'm not, I'm just an imposter, was Morgan Schneidlin. I think, if the game's slow enough and if he's not under any pressure, I think he's a decent player, but there was plenty of times in the game today where he was doing who does it a lot, like the Nemanja Matic, where he always has to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. I just don't think the decision making is there sometimes. I've watched the game again. I've watched certain parts that I wanted to be sure on, and there are players moving for him. There are players in certain spaces. He just doesn't see it sometimes. And then when players, like for example when they got through on goal, for the penalty, obviously it was Morgan. He took 5 or 6 touches, played it to Gomez. Gomez played it right back so they could, go up the field to, move the play. Gave the ball away. They were through on goal, and boom, just like that, Monaco have a penalty. So I mean, and it didn't get any much better for Morgan. At the end of the first half, I knew he was coming off. He had to. Tom Davis came on, obviously, the second half. Theo Walcott came on in the second half. I think they both did okay. Tom hit the bar. I thought Theo looked really lively. Was always looking to get into space, was looking to cut in quite a bit. And that's the big difference between when it's Seamus and Broadhead, I guess, for that game, or Seamus and Richie. Overlapping runs from Seamus down the outside. But Theo's someone who likes to cut in. There was many times that it was almost like a 4-3-3, like a 4-4-2, sorry, because Seamus would be bringing the ball down the outside. Theo had already ran in, so you'd see Theo and Nias almost playing as a front two. I don't know if that's something that Marco told them to possibly do, or if that's just Theo's natural game, is not holding the ball up, not looking to the outside to go for Seamus for the whip in. If it's just he likes to play on the inside, I don't know, but I thought he looked lively. I think everyone else had decent games. I mean, Gibson and Keane at the back didn't really have much to do all day. Seamus and Luca, outstanding fullbacks. They look that they're already up for it. Luca got obviously a solid 90 minutes of going up and down the line. Said Gomez, I thought, played well. Sigurdsson was a little quiet, but I don't think he did anything really too wrong. Bernard was the same. Bernard, quick, intense, so always tracking back, always trying to come inside and do some trickery, or trying to cut out to the outside, always looking for his boy Luca coming down there. So, first half, that was that. Second half was a little bit how do you put it, strange, because obviously Monaco at one point in time just took off 10 players and brought on 10 players. So that kind of made us think about it for a while, because that was 10 fresh new players with fresh legs coming on. But I think their rhythm and their routine kind of broke down with so many changes. But overall, end of the game, we won 1-0. Seamus scored, obviously got taken out by the keeper. And then just before that, Nias hit the post with one of his crazy, I don't know what I'm doing, the defense doesn't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to do this. And ended up heel kicking it onto the post. So, overall, for fitness levels, for style of play, for technical ability, I think we've come a long way this week since the Sion game. Obviously, the double sessions, the intense sessions in that elevation and altitude have done the boys a world of good. We go on to Wigan now midweek. We'll probably shuffle the pack quite a bit for that, because a lot of players that probably played a lot this game won't maybe start or won't get as many minutes against Wigan. We obviously don't want any injuries. We don't want anybody getting strained or stressed or, picking up any muscle injuries in particular. So we'll see. It'll be exciting, right? Because the Evertonians will actually get to, before Evertonians get to go to the game at Wigan, probably 8,000 when you get that. Two things I want to say. One is it's probably not the streamers' fault at Everton Football Club, but it's kind of embarrassing to hear all the effing and the cursing and the blinding and the, just pedestrian peasant way that some fans conduct themselves, like in public and just in front of other people. It's so unnecessary. We heard that one person that took the coach over was just absolutely plastered and drunk and had to be escorted out by one of the stewards. That's embarrassing for a grown adult to have that happen. And then number two, that old codger running on the pitch after Seamus scored, probably another person that was all blitzed and all liquored up for the day in the hot sun. You know that you can't come on the pitch. You know you can't violate the space of the professional players. It's a hazard. It's never been allowed. It shouldn't be allowed. But no, this old codger comes on when Seamus goes, whoa. It's embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. Think of your friends and your family, man. Come on. Like, I was embarrassed for you, and I'm watching on a stream, 4,000 miles away, and it made me cringe. So, just don't do it. I don't understand what people do. Is that? Sorry, I just don't get it. But anyways, so yeah, on to Wigan. Hopefully it'll be a more feisty game, not a brutal game, not a hard tackling, not a disgusting game, but it'll be a more intense game for the lads and for them, because we're going to want to beat us. We're obviously going to want to beat them. We've got 3 clean sheets in preseason so far. Let's make it 4. If you're a new member to the channel, if you're a new person watching this, please subscribe. We've been doing really well on subscriptions lately. Also, I got an Instagram account. I now have 1 follower. I'd like to make that 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 followers. You follow me, I'll follow you. The more followers I get, the more content I can put out. Still not really too used to how to use Instagram, really. But I'll get my head around it this weekend. And that's about it. Video will be going up later today. Just a compilation of me sitting watching the Everton game. The parts that I thought were humorous or funny or whatever it is. The first half of that will be out tomorrow, and then the second half probably later in the day. But for now, everybody, be safe. Have a good day. Have a good night wherever you are. And I will see you in the next video.